everyone, this is me, Jyotika Bedi, founder of Happiness is Love. And as the name suggests, Happiness is Love is a passion project where we want to spread more hope, more positivity, more love and gratitude in our world. And now that a new world is emerging, it is our prime responsibility to learn skills, to learn new habits so that we can be our bestest, grandest versions. And we believe the only way to build a better world is to build better parent-child bonds. So that is why we do the work that we do at Happiness is Love. We are here for you. We love to share because we really care. And today's video is actually inspired by a book that I read on how to talk to your child so that your child listens, and how to listen so that your child speaks to you freely. And I'm raising 3 children, and I think it is so important because we are not taught. There is no manual. There is no guide that actually tells us on how to talk to our children, how to listen to our children, to hear and be heard. So here goes. I wanted to share with you a little bit about my own personal experience with my 3 children, and I hope this video helps you in any way. So let's start with, let's say you've asked your child to do something. You've done it very calmly, very rationally, in a very deliberate manner, let's say. Now, instead of action, you get your child to not respond, and you get your child's silence. Maybe he or she did not hear you. So you think again nicely, and then you say, okay, but in a more firm tone. You look at your child and you say that, have you heard me say what I did? But you feel that you are rapidly falling into that familiar cycle of repeating yourself and reminding your child and reminding and repeating the same pattern. And then what happens? You blow your fuse. In that moment, you utter words that are hurtful and harmful to the relationship. You start to scream, and the same demand that you had requested calmly just minutes ago, that energy gets depleted and you quickly escalate into being frustrated and angry. I'm guilty of the same. It is tough because parenting is hard and we're not taught how to handle such situations calmly yet firmly. In fact, we become commanding, demanding, authoritative and ordering to our children, not knowing that there is an effective way. There is a healthy way. So here's the thing. If you want to handle your child's unresponsiveness, the first thing you need to do is figure out why he or she is not listening to you. More often than not, his lack of response is a symptom, not the actual problem. So you really need to dig deep. If you don't address this issue at its very root, you're sure to see a case of just not listening, and then you turning yourself into this angry monster that you don't want to be. And then we have more behavioral issues such as tantrums, defiance, and backlash. So it is very important as parents to be mindful of our own patterns that I am trying to communicate to my child, and your child's behavior is really a form of communication. So you have to be that advocate to kind of dig deep and understand, why don't kids listen? And that's why I want you to understand that this is a good starting point. It's a good question. Why are they tuning you out? Why do you have to repeat something over and over until you find yourself yelling? Let's understand. Children of all ages, toddlers, and I have a full-blown teen as well, they have a hardwired need for power. Children have a need for power just like we adults. When children don't feel that they have the opportunity to assert their power in a positive way, for example, let me make it easy for you, choosing what clothes to wear, making the dinner menu, picking a game that they want to play, etc., they will assert power in negative ways. This is universal because children do want to have control over their own selves. And it makes them feel frustrated when they feel that there is a power struggle between the parent and the child. And that is why it is very important for us as parents to ask ourselves, what is my communication style? Is my communication style mostly complaining and ordering and demanding and instructional? Or am I expressing my expectations through a request in a respectful manner? Because parents, please understand, requesting our children respectfully is what we need to learn, because children have a need for respect as well, just like we as adults do. And respect comes from only respect. It cannot be demanded. It cannot be commanded. It has to be deserved. And only if we give it will we receive it. So by choosing not to listen, children will assert their power, and their behavior is a form of a communication, because they are feeling this need to control and make decisions for themselves and for their lives. And I'm not suggesting that you let them call every shot. However, by implementing few easy to learn positive parenting skills, you can give your children power within set boundaries, within set ground rules and limits that you will set as a parent. By doing so, you will invite cooperation and encouragement from your children, and this will help deepen your bond with your child. And then you don't have to get into that cycle of begging and pleading and reminding your children, and that vicious cycle that we all get into. So here goes. I want you to understand that is not listening just a label? Before we dive into the strategies to improve communication with your children, just consider this question. What exactly are you referring to when you say that my child doesn't listen? And this is a global problem. I meet parents day in and out being a parent coach, and this is one struggle that all parents face, where they tell me that our child does not listen. So I'm inviting you to pause and ask, what exactly are you referring to when you make this statement? When talking to parents, not listening usually ends up being a blanket term that covers a lot of issues, because not listening is just too broad and it's very difficult to find the right solution. The question really is, do you stop? Do you halt? Do you pause and actually ask, is my child hungry? Is my child feeling lonely? Is my child agitated? Is my child not feeling well? Or there is this deep concern that my child have about himself or herself, feeling disconnected or feeling that they don't belong in their own house? Is the issue really your child not doing chores at home? Is making them do homework a big struggle where you headbutt about studying all the time? And bedtime. What about siblings fighting? There's a beautiful book, again, I'd urge you to read it, on siblings without rivalry. How we parents need to nurture and raise our children in a manner that there is minimal sibling rivalry. So don't lump every communication as a shutdown under the not listening umbrella. Let's kind of dig in and discover what's really going on, and then make an action plan that is suitable for you and your child, that specifically addresses the problem. Now, I want to share with you my 7 strategies or simple, practical tips or steps that can help you understand your child better and ensure that your child actually feels heard. Number 1, get onto your child's level. This is so important. I tell all the parents that I meet with, when your child's need of, let's say, attention, affection, appreciation is met, children will not act out. We have to make sure that we understand the why of the child's behavior and not dismiss and deny our children's feeling by saying, oh, he's such an attention seeker, or she's always doing this for attention. No, it's really about connection. What your child is seeking at that moment is your connection, and it is your responsibility to speak with your child and ask your child, what is wrong? Is there anything I can do to connect better with you? How can I show more caring towards you? When you lower yourself down and look your child in the eye, you will see that you will strengthen your communication and bond with your child. Believe me, it is magic. I do it with my teenager and my toddlers. Whenever I'm feeling a disconnect, I come to their level. I put myself in their shoes to understand what's really going on. So this is something that you can do easily by reaching out to your children and speaking to them and understanding what's really going on within. Because it is usually an unmet need that makes a child act out. So you need to really get beneath that behavior and understand why your child is feeling what he or she is feeling. And is there any need of his or her that is being unmet? Next, do away with your don'ts. I mean, this is for you, for me, for everyone. Don't touch your brother. Don't run in the hall. Don't play with your food. Don't read the next sentence. See, this is how we talk to our children. We give them negative commands such as, don't do this, stop doing that, no all the time. What does this do to your children? Kids forever hear complaining and don't do this and don't do that and stop doing that. Their feelings also have to be validated. I need to stop and really ask myself, what does the child is confused. So the child will really wonder, what does she not want me to do? What does she not want me to do instead? Because it gets confusing and contradictory to your child. Now, let me give you an example. For example, if you say, don't touch your brother, a child has to stop the current behavior and determine the appropriate alternative behavior. If I can't touch him, does that mean I can't hug him? Can we play tag instead? Can I give him a high five? Can I help him out find his shoe that mom is asking him to do? Instead, tell your child what to do. And so instead of saying, don't touch your brother, try use gentle touches when touching your brother. Or your brother doesn't want to be touched right now, so can you please keep your hands away while we're in the car? Instead of, don't leave your toys all over the floor, try, please, can you put your toys in the toy bin? Instead of, don't run in the hall, try, please, walk in the hall carefully. Make sure that you say yes to yes. Think about it for a moment. What is your normal knee-jerk reaction to the 10,000 requests you get from your child every day? No, right? When you're bombarded with requests, because parenting is all about asking and answering, and it's usually children asking for things and requesting you. So it's difficult to shift your mind and be calm and respond in a meaningful way so that you deliver a response by saying, no, not today. No, I don't have the time for that. And you can say it with kindness. I can still be a kind parent by saying, no, I can't do this for you right now. I'm a bit tired today. I don't have the energy today. Why don't you ask your dad for help? Give them an alternative instead of just saying no all the time. So when no is your constant answer, your children will wonder that why is it that I always have to listen? And they will stop listening to your requests because they're hearing no all the time. So parents, my request to you is know your no's. Know what you're saying no to. For instance, in my house, we will say no for extra screen time because we have agreed upon a screen time. We will say no for junk food during the weekday because we've agreed for some amount of junk food on the weekend. We will say no to night overs because it is a rule that we have set, a ground rule that has been set with the children's buy-in. So the answer is clear that they know, the parents knows. So make sure that instead of saying, no, you can't go and do this, make sure that you say, okay, that sounds okay. Let's try and do that on Friday after your school is done. So give them a positive response by not saying no immediately. So instead of saying, no, you can't have ice cream, you can say, ice creams are delicious. Would you like to have it for dessert on Saturday? Or on Sunday, give them options, give them choices so that you're not just saying no. And while there are situations that require a hard no, by offering more yes, you will increase the chances of your kids tuning in back with you. So make sure that you know your no's and make sure you say yes to yes. Next, please shorten your speech. Oh boy, I am guilty of long lectures and nagging and preaching to my children. I'm guilty of this. Parents, and especially moms, we tend to turn a 5-second question into a 5-minute dissertation, literally. There's a saying in sales industry, never sell with blah, 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 what you can sell with just blah. What that means is, it makes a lot of sense. Try to get your child's attention by being concise and being brief, and you will see you will get your child's cooperation. Next, say thank you in advance. Help your child make an appropriate choice by taking this leap of faith. You must thank your child. Thank you for hanging your towel after your shower. This will encourage your children because the behavior that you will praise will increase. And if you want your children to express gratitude, guess what? It starts with you as a parent. Instead of complaining, bickering, and blaming your children, catch them when they do something good. Catch them when they do what you ask them to do. Because your praise and appreciation will be like the best motivation tool. And that's when you will get your child's cooperation. So make sure that you let your child know in a positive way. Let them know in advance that you trust them to do the right thing. This will cultivate open communication and increase the likelihood of the tasks that you're asking your child to do. So I thank Arjun in advance by saying, thank you, Arjun. I know you will clean your room today. I trust you to do it. This will motivate and encourage your child to do the task that you have been asking your child to do, and you can do it respectfully. You can express your gratitude, and guess what? It is a win-win solution. Make sure that you are observing. You make an observation. If you see a task that is left undone, don't dive in it and start reprimanding your child. Just make an observation. See, if you see a jacket on the floor and you do not like your children to throw things on the floor, you can ask, what is your plan for taking care of the trash that is on the floor, or your jacket that has been lying on the floor since morning? When you ask questions, when you stop, pause, and actually give your child the benefit of asking before we start telling and reprimanding and punishing, this is one of my favorite strategies because it avoids power struggles. It's very empowering because it, on your part, gives you time and your child time to give a response, and you don't react to the situation. It gives your child the opportunity to quickly save face and come up with a plan in the moment which they can then own up. So your child will say, oh yeah, I was just planning to take the trash out. I was just planning to clean my room and pick up my jacket after I've finished my lunch. So this gives you the chance to put a positive parenting spin to the whole conversation, and it's awesome. And then you say, I really appreciate, Arjun, when you do as you say you will do. Thumbs up, buddy. So this is what I want you to invite you as parents to start practicing, because again, parenting is a skill. It is all about learning alongside our children. So remember that not listening should always be a wake-up call for us. It's time to take action. While it might seem a little defiant to you, that your child is not listening to you, but it is really the greatest opportunity for you as a parent to stop, pause, learn skills that will help you understand and connect better with your child and understand your child's need of power. So kids and adults are alike. They have the same fundamental need to be seen, to be heard, to be appreciated, to be supported. And when this need is unmet, kids stop listening to us. It may sound counterintuitive, but clearly it works when the number one complaint parents share that the child is not listening. I encourage them to start communicating with awareness, communicating with understanding, and start listening to what their child is not saying. I hope this video was useful to you. Thank you for supporting us, cheering for us, subscribing to our channel. We will continue to do the work that we do because your motivation propels us. Keep smiling, keep shining, and keep inspiring.